here, we can do that. Okay. So I'd like to talk about two things today, the event surveys and then the event reminders. And I'd like to start with the surveys, if that's okay with you guys.
Sure.
Are you familiar with how our event survey system is set up, or have you never quite looked at it before?
We have not quite looked at it before.
Okay, perfect. Then let me go through this here so I can show you what we've currently got, and then I have a couple of ideas of some changes we can make that would make things easier for the way that you guys do things. And I've also got your survey up here as well, the sample one that you sent, so we can take a look at that and see how they can sync up together, because we can definitely do all these different things here. All right, so
perfect.
Great. So switching back here, I'm at the main admin page for event registration. So any event registrations that you set up, you can access from here. And you are able to make as many surveys you want for each registration. So there's no limit on the amount of surveys and things that you can make for a registration. So to get to those, they're in this functions menu right over here for attendees. And it's the SVY one for surveys. We're right in the middle here. So if you click on this one, this is going to take us to the main landing page for any surveys that we have set up for this event. You can't share a survey between events, but you can easily copy one from a previous one. So I know that one of the things that Chris told me was that you guys have a very similar survey that you send out all the time, but sometimes you can tweak it. And this is actually perfect for that, because what you can do here is just pick the survey you want to copy, click the copy button, and it's going to make an exact copy of it for this event, and then you can change any bits of it that you want after that. So if you want to slightly alter one of the questions or anything like that, it's just that easy to make a new one. Any questions so far?
No, that looks good. No, I use SurveyMonkey to send a link.
Okay.
Great. That looks good. Okay.
Great. So over here on the right side, we've got all of our different actions we can do with the survey. So the pencil, we can edit it here. We can delete it if we want to. This one will let us copy it. So if you want to make a copy of one within a registration like this, so say you've got a bunch of surveys that are very similar, but you want to have them all within the same event, you can copy it within there like that. We have a few set of reports here that we can run. And I always tell people this too. We have the data for these surveys. So if you have a custom report or anything that you need made, we can always make something like that. And then over here is the email icon where we can email this out to the attendees. So the first thing I'd like to look at, and then up here too, we have an add a new survey button. And that's just going to do anything here. You can go right in and edit it once you create a new one. So I'm just going to go through and edit one just to show you just the general setup of it. On this first page, you have the survey name and description. Pretty simple there. We continue on. This next page here, this lets you create your different questions that are going to be on the survey. You see here we get the name of it, what it's going to show up like, the different field types. So we can make selection fields, text fields, rating fields, all sorts of different things like that. And then if it is a selection one, you can have your list of options for it is right over here. And then your actions over here, you can edit and delete it as well. And then if you want to reorder these, all you have to do is just drag and drop them there, and it will update that they've been changed. When you add one of these here, it's the same thing adding a new one as adding in it, but you can add your question right here, so whatever you want. And that's just going to be a very simple one, like for the rating. For the selection one here, you'll see that we get, our question here. We can say how many selections are allowed. So if you want them to only pick one out of a certain number of options, or if you want them to be able to pick multiples, we can do that as well. And then,
where do you choose what type of question?
That's when you add a new one, and I'll show you how to do that one in just a moment. But that's a good question. Once you've created one as something, you can't change it, though. So, like, I couldn't create a selection field and then say later, I want to make a text field of that. You'd have to delete that one and start a new text field.
Okay.
Just because of the way it stores the data. But so then we have our selection options. So if you do like a selection box or multiple choice, these are the same way. You can drag and drop these in any order that you want really easily. And then adding a new option here, all you do is just add the title of it and everything, and then continue. And then that'll take us back to our landing page here. To add a new question, we click here at the bottom, and then here's where you can choose the field type. So we have multiple choice available, yes and no available, text fields, multi-line text, 6, and then 1 through 5 ratings. So looking over at your survey here, we can easily do these 3 here that are the ratings with our 1 through 5. They're exactly the same. And then these ones are just text boxes. So, I mean, we could do this one exactly here. I don't see any issue with that. The only part where ours differs is right now the output page doesn't quite look like this. But to be honest with you, that's one that I've been meaning to get around and update for free anyway. And so if we go forward with some of these ones, I'll definitely do that as part of the project, and you guys won't have to pay for that one. I can talk Chris out of that. Because that's something, because I noticed too that yours is, this one is responsive on here. And so that's what the new styling would do. It wouldn't take a whole lot to change that. So that's definitely on the list of things to do. I've been going around and adding more and more stuff to that recently. All right, so let's go back here. Any questions about how the fields and the questions are set up for the survey here?
No, I think that's forward.
Okay, great. So once you're set and you change the questions, you can continue. And then this will give you a preview, and it actually doesn't even look like this anymore, so this has to be updated as well. And then this is the last page here, and then from here on, we can continue, and then we'll have an option to actually email this one out to the attendees of the event. And like I said, if you don't have to change your survey at all, you don't have to go through that whole process. You can go directly to the email function after you've copied it.
Okay.
But let's go through the email.
When you copy it, then you can change the name, correct?
Yes, correct. Yeah, it'll always say copy of whatever. And to be honest, if that's annoying, I can change it so it doesn't do that for you guys. But yeah, other than that, everything else is ready to go. It'll be exactly a copy of the one you're starting from.
Okay.
So let me show you guys how it currently works to email it out, and then I can talk to you about a couple changes that I think I can make in here that would make your lives a lot easier. All right, so this works very similar to our broadcast message system in that you pick the sender, so I'll just say me, my email, put it in here, you can do a test subject and a test message. Now, right now, when you do this and you send these emails out, once you click send at the end, it sends it out immediately. So one of the changes that I can make is I can allow you guys to schedule it. So on this page as well, like above the sender, we could either say, leave it blank to send immediately, or you can enter in a date and a time, and when it hits that one, it'll send that survey out.
So I could do it ahead of time and
exactly
tell it a certain time. Okay.
Yeah, so you could set it up when you set up the event and, set it up to do everything. And then as soon as the date hits that you decide, then it would send it out, and you wouldn't have to worry about manually going in there to send it.
Okay. And right now, that's not on this page, correct? Because I don't see a place.
Yeah, correct. Right now, it's set up to just go out immediately as soon as you finish this process. So that's a potential customization we could make. But I don't think it would take all that lot, maybe an hour or two probably. But I think that would be a really useful one to make. All right, so let's go past here. Oh, the other one, the other change I was potentially thinking of. Sorry, I guess I can talk about this page first. You can attach files to this just like you do with broadcast emails. So if you want all the attendees to get like a map or something like that, or anything with it, you can attach that here. And there's no limit on the number of attached files. And then this page here is where you select the recipients. And so the other change I was thinking about was maybe back on that first page I could make a text or a checkbox that just says automatically send to all attendees, so that if you do set this up ahead of time, you wouldn't have to come back in at some other point and add all the people to the email. It would just know if that option was hit to, okay, just automatically add everybody and then go through the process.
Excellent.
Okay.
That would be wonderful.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if the program is in June and I set this up in May and I have 10 people to register between the time I set it up, it's going to automatically pick everybody who's registered by that date.
Yes, and yeah, if we set that option up, then yes, for sure, that's exactly what it would do. So you wouldn't have to come back in here, and that's exactly the idea, that you could set this up when you create the actual event and then never have to touch it, and it could just go out and do everything automatically.
That would be fabulous.
Okay, great. So then after, so you would select, I guess I should probably talk about this page before I go past it. So this page back here, if you do end up manually going in here, this works exactly like the broadcast email. So you can either pick people individually over here, you can do a query, all sorts of stuff like that, and pick who you want to go to, or this survey to go to. But if we do that thing to send to all attendees, that'll make this page kind of moot, so it won't matter unless you're sending it out immediately.
Okay.
All right. I think that was all I wanted to talk about with the surveys. Did you have any questions about anything, or does that all sound good to go forward here?
That all sounds good. I do have one question. In terms of the reports, so are the reports that we can just automatically select from, or if we want, do we have to contact you to set up a report for us?
Let me show you what we've got currently. I don't know how many of these would have any information in them right now, but okay, so it looks like we have 3 of them. Let me open all 3 of these so we can see what they do. Okay, so this one, it looks like it gives you a count on all these ones. So it could give you, so your ratings here would show you how many people picked each option here, and then the same thing with your selection fields. So it looks like that'll give you some basic data. This one, which one was that? The respondents. Oh, okay. So we haven't had anyone respond to this one yet, but otherwise their individual responses would all come up on this page. And then this last one. Yeah. So we have some basic overviews here. I also, I built I don't know if you have our mobile app or not, but I built a way that attendees can take surveys within the mobile app. And we have some more advanced reporting in there too, like with some charts and graphs and stuff like that I could easily port over to be able to run on the website. And again, the best way I usually tell people to run reports is if you can tell me, like if you can give me a template of what you're looking for, or like if you just need a certain amount of data in a certain format, if you let me know, I can usually set that up for you pretty easily. I mean, we have the data already here, so organizing it is just a matter of writing the code for it.
And when we were, if we were to click this report results, if we had a comment box, we would see all the comments, correct?
I'd have to double check on that one, but offhand, I'd say probably not. I would guess I'd have to look at the code of this to be sure, but I would guess that this only does on ones that it can quantify with numbers, like on responses. But again, if you wanted something like that, I could easily build that. What I would guess is it probably comes up on this respondents one here. So you would look through and it would have the question, then all the individual answers after that one.
Okay.
And, honestly, on these reports, too, this is such an older section of the system. And like I said, I've been updating parts of it. And I could probably talk Chris into to splitting some costs on some things depending on what they were. So if you guys have a template or anything and you can send it to me, I can definitely take a look at it and see what it would take.
All right. Okay.
All right. So let's go back to the list here. Any other questions about the surveys, or do you think those sound good for now?
They sound good. I have a question regarding those reports.
Yes.
We download it into a CSV file, or?
Not currently, but I could make something like that very easily. A CSV would probably be the easiest for you. I could probably.
I guess I was trying to determine, or how would the current way the reports are? How do they print? Do they print with a lot of extra jargon up at the top? Or would they just be a straight report?
Yeah, no, they would print with all the extra stuff up at the top. But I could make printable versions of anything pretty easily. And again, a CSV would be really easy, and that would just print out like a spreadsheet.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Definitely would
like I said, we've got
right.
The ones we have currently are just these 3 really basic ones. Like I said, because this is an older part, people don't usually use this one a whole lot. But I'm definitely open to adding anything we want here. And because it is so bare bones right now, I think I'd probably talk Chris into going halves or even footing the cost on some of these. So.
Okay.
So yeah, if you could give me like a template or anything of what you're looking for, or if you just want to start CSV, let me know too. That would work. Any of that stuff.
Okay, great.
All right. So let's move on now to the event reminders. And just to confirm that we're on the same page with these ones, these would be like email reminders that you'd set up that would go out like a certain number of days before or after the event, and then be sent to all the people who had signed up, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So let me show you what I built in here. This is only on the test server right now. I'm not quite finished with it, but it's enough to show you. That's going to be this REM one here. And also, I always feel silly with these little abbreviations. These are going to be buttons at some point soon. So look for wonderful, nice looking buttons at some point.
Well, I'm used to the text, so we're good.
Okay, cool. Okay, so going here, it's going to look actually very similar to the survey page. This is going to list all the reminders that we currently have set up. And then we can also copy the reminders from another event. So if you've got a standard set that goes out that says pretty much the same thing and always on the same schedule, you can easily copy those from the other event just by saying copy reminders. And you'll see here now I just copied both the ones we had for the other event there. So you'll see here on this page it lists the name, and this is purely internal. This is just so you can tell them apart. This is the email subject. This is when it is scheduled for. And these ones, you don't actually pick the date. You say the number of days before or after the event, and then it will tell you what that's going to be. So that is in order to be able to easily copy these from event to event, or if you change the event date at some point, you don't have to worry about also updating every single reminder to the date you want it to go out. It'll automatically adjust based on the start date.
Oh, nice.
And then we've got the sent one here too. So once it has sent, it will let you know. It'll change that to let you know that it has sent a reminder out. And
okay.
then
I have a quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
I have a quick question. So let's just say that I want this reminder to go out 2 days before the program, and it goes out to all those people that are registered. I can't imagine that the system is intuitive enough that if somebody registers the next day, that it's going to go out and send that reminder. Am I correct?
You are correct. Yep, it's not going to know to do that. But if you had a reminder set after that, it would get the next one.
Okay, but I could do it manually. You set up you could, if she wanted to say, oh, we're going to remind people a week ahead, 3 days ahead, the day before.
Yep.
She can set up as many reminders as she wants.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, so I only got 2 here, but you can add as many as you want. And yeah, they could even go out on the same day. So if you want 2 reminders to go out for whatever reason.
Do anything in terms of time?
I not yet, but that's one of the things I'm going to add here. Let me go in and edit one right now. So what I'm going to do...
Because I think the biggest...
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, the biggest concern would be for the webinars, because some people register a half an hour before, an hour before. Not so much for the big face-to-face events, but the webinars, they're very last minute. And so if there's a way that it could just scan it and send them back at the half hour, at the half hour mark before that.
So that's one thing I'm going to add here. So after we've got the reminder days and then before or after the event date, sandwiched in between here, I'm going to put the send time. So you would pick the time there. So it's going to wait until it's going to choose the day based on this one, but then it will use the exact time that you put in there to send those things out. So you could definitely set up. You could even set up, 5 of them for all just at one day with different times on them. That'd be no problem at all.
Okay, great.
I think it doesn't run automatically yet, but the job that I'm going to write to run it automatically, I think I'm just going to have it run every minute. It's going to run every minute and look for any ones that it should send out at that time, and then do it from there. So currently in here, very similar, we've got the name. Again, that's just internal. The from name and the from email, and that's going to be the reply to email as well. And then the days before or after the begin date. This one here, include the event and attendee registration summary. This is if you want to include, it's basically the stuff they get in their confirmation email with the event information and then what they signed up for and stuff like that. So you can click a checkbox to include or not include that if you want. And then this will be the subject on the email, and then here will be the text as well. One other thing I'm planning to add to this are what we call replacement keys. So if you wanted to say, dear first name, something like this. I'd have a special format where you'd write first name like this, and it will plug in the attendee's name in there. So if you wanted to use something like that, and then when you copy it from event to event, then it would retain you and be able to replace them with whatever the event specific info was. We use these on some other parts of the system too. So I'm going to add in some standard ones, and then if there's something particular that's not in there that you wanted to add, you can just let me know, and I can always add those. And then oh yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just from there, you save it, and then it goes right back to this main landing page with your list of reminders on it.
Okay. I have a question, and it goes back to those surveys.
Mm-hmm.
So if I send a message basically that says, we value your input, please take this survey or whatever, is it going to be a link that they're going to see, or
yes,
how is that going to interact, and what's it going to look like, and will it have our logo on it, etc.?
I think it's a pretty basic email right now. Or no, I take it back. I just sent myself one the other day. It does come with your email header and everything, so it would look like a broadcast email. And it comes with a link for the survey, and each link is specifically encoded for the attendee that gets it. So all they have to do is click on that link. They don't have to log in or do anything. It'll just take them directly to taking the survey.
Oh, excellent.
Yep.
Good.
And again, if there's any specific changes you'd want to make about that, that's no problem to do so. Any other questions about any of that stuff or anything else for that matter?
Very much like what we were hoping, right, and very simple.
Excellent. That's great. So just to confirm here, the changes that we're going to make, I'm going to make an option to schedule it so that you can pick a date and time that you want to send out the survey. And then we're also going to include that option to auto-include all of the attendees. So even if you haven't added them to the email, it's going to include everybody that's registered. And then what we're going to take care of, and so I'll send you, I don't think either one of those will take more than a couple hours, but I'll send you an exact quote for doing those ones. And then on our end, I'm going to update the styles and make the actual survey page responsive. And then if you can let me know about any reports that you wanted, like I said, I'm pretty sure I can talk Chris into some of those. So.
I may be mistaken, and Melissa can clarify, but I said we wanted also to be able to have transcript information in terms of after they've done it. When they get the survey, it includes content information, but she just put all that into that email.
Or can there be a check mark like you gave the check mark for the confirmation that said they're going to receive the attendee information or whatever, and really all I want them to receive is the registration information that has the title of the event, the description, the content is ours. That's really all they need.
Okay. And that's in the survey email?
Yes, that would be ideal.
Okay. Yeah, I already built this option into this one. I don't think that would take more than 20 minutes for me to build an option like that into the surveys. So if you just wanted to include that would be pretty easy to add.
Excellent. I think we definitely want that in there.
Okay. Let me just make a note here. Option 2. All right. Okay, yeah, I'm pretty sure that'll be pretty easy. I'll take a look at it later, but I don't think that'll be much of a big deal. One thing I totally forgot to mention and ask about, you had mentioned, I saw in that ticket about having people confirm their attendance on the survey. Is that correct?
Oh, no, that's what we're just talking about. I think that we're just confirming that they did attend, and here's the continuing education hours, description, date, title, etc.
So that they can keep track of their own information. I mean, they'll have their information in the transcript area. However, some people, they just want that tangible piece for each individual program.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we don't need them to confirm, what I'm basically talking about here, let me just go here. After it loads. Okay, let it catch up to me here. So on this page here, which lists all of the attendees, we have these check boxes that mark them as attended. You're not worrying at all about those. You just want them to be able to see what they signed up for and the event information. I mean, we can do both. I mean, honestly, right now there's no way for them on the survey to mark their attendance, but that'll be a simple thing. That wouldn't take more than 10 minutes to add something like that. So they could get their...
So on the survey, they would just say attend. There'd be a place that would say attended.
Yes. Yeah. So check this box if you attended or something like that. And I'd have to...
And then it would tie it to the person's name?
Yes. So if we did something like that, you guys wouldn't create that question in the survey. It would just be a default part of all of them. Like at the very end, it would say, check if you attended or something like that. And then, then it would update this attendee record and check whatever box that was. So when you looked here and they marked that they were attended, it would show up as checked on here.
That would be great if you could do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I said, that'd be really easy. So let me make a...
The only thing, though, you don't take the surveys anymore. Right.
So I guess Melissa's question is, if they don't take the survey, then they're not checking this, so there's no way to record attendance. So I'm trying to think if there's a better place to put something like that.
I mean, you guys can always override it as admin. So if you know that, these people for sure were at the event, you can check those ones. I'm also going to do one at a time. But you can check those ones, and that'll mark them as attended even if they don't take the survey. This would just give them an opportunity to say that they were. Right now, this is an admin-only function for everything. So adding it to the survey would just give them the additional opportunity to mark themselves as attended if you want that.
And then if not, then I go in and mark everyone attended.
I mean, we don't have to.
Well, okay, so let me clarify. If we don't mark them attended, this will show up on their transcript as a program they registered for, correct?
What exactly do you mean by transcript?
On our website, we have where they log in and they go under... have to look to see what it's under now. So okay. You go to where it says manage account, or it's transcript, that's fine. You go there, Betsy. And then you log in, and then it's your admin, so it's not going to show up. It's under, I think, attendee information or something like that when you log in.
Okay.
Sorry.
Let's see if I can log in here real quick. I'm going to see if I can get into your site real quick and see. The reason I ask is because we have several things that make transcripts or certificates or things like that. I just want to make sure of the one that you're using before I can tell you anything definitively about it.
When you log in, it's under, I have the steps, I just can't think of what it is, but it's under member information or details or something to that effect, and then you click on classes registered, and then they can see a list of everything that they've attended.
Is it this prior event registrations link right here?
Yes. That's what they do. Yes.
Okay. Then yes, they don't have to be marked as attended to show up on here. As long as they're registered, they'll show up on this list as registered.
Okay. Okay. Then I think if we can have them click that they've attended, I think that would be great.
Okay.
And then I don't have to worry about still marking them if everybody didn't attend, or because
Most
not really
of that stuff shows up for and is important for is on some of the reports. I can show you right here. Any of these ones right here, this set right here that says attendance reports, that's where these ones are. So it's only going to pull up people who registered and are also checked as attended for any of these reports. So if you just want to look for, because some groups want to look at specific info of, okay, these people registered, but who actually showed up. And so that's what these ones are here for.
So we have access to these attendee reports now?
Yep, definitely. Yep, they should come up for every single event on there that you guys have.
Okay. Can you sort them? You can't sort them by library, though. I'd have to just...
Well, there's a
We have one library that wants a record of who's attended. And so I just wondered if there was...
I see what you mean. Yeah, no, this would just grab it for the individual event. Although, let me see if we have anything like that.
No, she's talking about at an individual event.
Oh,
yes, it would be at an individual event. So, like at one event, I could say, I want to see all the names of people from the Cleveland Public Library that attended.
Yes, and actually you can do that with this query creator option here at the top. This report by query link here, and I can show you. There's tons of options, but don't get overwhelmed. Is there a... Oh, there's not. I thought there was. Anyway, so with this one, you can do specific things for like these options right here are all custom fields that are set up for this event. So yeah, if you were asking for specific things, you could look at them and sort them by library or something like that here. There's no option right now to only limit it to people who are marked as attended, but I could add something like that. 10 minutes honestly to add that to this report. I may just do it anyway. But yeah, so this would probably be a good one for you guys to use if you're trying to run a report like that. And you can also put it in a bunch of different outputs here at the bottom. So, a report, some name badges, some sign-in sheets, stuff like that. Did you guys have any other questions about the reports or how those are set up? Oh. My sound dropped out there. Very weird. Okay, so I'm on the phone now, so this should be good.
Okay. Okay, so...
did I cut out before I explain the report or after?
I think you were telling us that you would be able to add a place here that we would be able to sort by library for one event, for the event we are on. If we did
one of the query reports.
The query report. Can we query report one individual event by library?
Yes. As long as that's a custom field that you have set up, then yes, that'll show up right on here as something you can do.
Okay.
And right now, there doesn't look like there's an option to limit it to people who are marked as attended, but that'd be something really easy I could add.
Okay. Well, and it wouldn't even need to be marked attended, even if we just could sort by the library. So we can
create a list just for people to sign in on.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So as long as you had a field there, then you could definitely report on it. You could also just run a general CSV and just get a spreadsheet of it and then sort by the column of whatever the library one was in.
Yeah. Okay, if we could do that in this report, that would be great, because I wanted to do that in the attendee summary report, but it doesn't show up as the organization. It just gives their address, because the parent is the one that has, I guess, the organization. So I could never get that to work. And so if this will give us that option, then that will be great.
Could you do me a favor, and when we get off the phone, could you send me an example of one of your events where you have it set up like that and point to the field you want there? Again, I just asked because we have, there's like 3 or 4 different kinds of organization fields in here, so I just want to make sure that we're talking about the same one.
Yes.
Perfect.
Okay. This was very helpful seeing this all on the screen.
Very.
Good. Yeah, I'm glad we could do the screen share. I figured that'd be a lot easier than just trying to talk over by phone and not seeing it. So.
Okay. Anything else that you think of, Melissa? I think this is very, this all reflects what we were hoping.
Yes,
awesome. That's great.
I look forward to actually seeing it in action.
Great. Well, the first thing I'm going to do, I'm almost done with those reminders, so I'm going to finish those up first and get the time and stuff added and everything on there. And so those will probably be available. What is today? Today on Tuesday? Yes. So those will be available at the end of the week. And then I'll start working on these survey changes as soon as I finish that one. So hopefully, I mean, I don't think they'll take any longer than next week. So.
Excellent.
That's great.
And if you have any questions in the meantime, feel free to send me a ticket or just let me know. And otherwise, I'll let you know as I get pieces of all this stuff finished here.
Okay. And then we'll send any templates of any reports that we think of, and Melissa will send you the example notes that you just asked for. Okay?
Yes, perfect. That'd be great.
Okay. That's it. All right.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, guys. I really appreciate it. No problem.
Right. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thanks. You too. Bye.
All right.
Bye-bye.